Hi everybody, I'm Jerry Paul, I'm an indie author, and this is a video where I'm going to be answering some of your questions. You've sent me loads of them, and I basically just picked the 10 that really speak to me and I wanted to answer them. So here we go. Number 1, Tara is my favourite character, and I know you said last time she was kind of yours, but is there a part of you in her? Is she just a teenage you? Now the thing is, Tara is not a teenage me. Both my parents are still living, my dad is not famous, and I don't have a psychic gift, which is kind of sucky, but there we go. However, she does share some character traits with me. A lot of my characters are very sarcastic, especially if they're teenage girls. That's not just a me trait, that's a teenage girl trait. Having said that, there are some similarities between me and Tara. When I first started writing Tara, I was like 19, 20, so I was a teenager myself, and some of that basis fed into her character development. However, she's not a teenage me. I had friends, I had social skills, I had all that kind of stuff, and while there are parts of her that are like who I was, she's not me. My characters are not me. They're individual people made up of their own character traits, their own personality. So there are parts of me in her, but she's not actually a teenage me. Number 2, what time do you find works best to get good writing done? I used to be a morning person when I was a kid. Like, I would be the first person up in the morning, and I would work really hard, and I would be out of the door like 7:45 in the morning, and that was fun for me. God, I don't know why. Now I find that most of my mornings are spent recovering or getting ready to do the day. So I get the most of my work done from about midday to about 5 p.m. And from there, I find that that's where I get my best writing done. If I have to take up to bed, then I go to bed about 5, 6 o'clock, not to sleep, just to rest. And that's where I get some writing done on my tablet. Number 3, who designs your covers? They're awesome. Well, thank you very much. I don't design them because I can't draw squat. My best friend, B, draws my covers. I don't call her B to keep her anonymous. I call her B because that's literally what I call her. If you ever have been on Skype with me, you'll hear me scream out, B! And yeah, that's basically her name. She designs them. We collaborate on whether or not what we're trying to get with the pick covers, and she basically takes my ideas and makes them awesome. So I will pass on to her that you think they're awesome. She'll love that. Number 4, what is your new series about? Is it paranormal, and how soon will it be released? My new series is called The Cramping Chronicles. It's about a teenage girl who is disabled. She has fibromyalgia and ME like I do. She's an empath, basically. She can feel other people's pain physically, whether it's an emotional pain or physical pain, she can feel it herself. And with that, there are some psychic elements in the fact that she's able to see film clips of what's causing the pain. So like, in one example I can give, someone's grandparent died. She didn't know the grandparent had died, but she saw clips of dealing with that death. And so yeah. As for how soon it'll be released, I'm about halfway through the first book, and I don't think it'll be released probably for another few years, simply because I have such a backlog and I don't want to have the Dying Thought series hanging around with no release dates. So it'll probably be a good couple of years, but yeah, I'll keep you updated. Number 5, do you prefer typing or do you write by hand? I always write in a notebook and then type it up, and I wondered if other writers do the same. When I first started writing, I wrote by hand. However, as a fibromyalgia got worse, I found it really hard to grip a pen. Like, I can grip it now for probably a word sentence, so not much writing is getting done. I switched over when I was writing Lynn and Hope, and that's when it started to become computer typing all the time. And now I've got my tablet, and I've got my computer, and I've got a keyboard for my tablet, so it's all typing all the time. And I prefer that in a way because it's easier to edit. Number 6, why do you set yearly goals and not monthly or quarterly like other writers? I do set monthly goals, you just don't see them. I have a private blog, and on there I have my monthly goals. I call it a monthly sticky post. It's basically my to-do list, so I go through and I cross everything off, but it has everything on there. And the reason I don't post it publicly is there's 2 reasons. One, a lot of it's personal stuff, so it's stuff like hospital appointments, and it helps keep track of what I'm supposed to be doing. And 2, I'm not really sure it would interest you guys because, like I said, it's everything and it's pretty similar every month. So yeah, I do monthly goals, I just don't talk about them, or if I talk about them, it's really only the writing goals that I'm talking about. Number 7, as a disabled writer, why don't you write more disabled characters? Now this one, I chose this one because it's true. I am a disabled writer and I have only theoretically written one disabled character who was a main character in the book. That was Hope in Hope. And I don't have a reason for it. It's only really been in the last few years that I've started to write more diverse characters. One of the books coming out in this year, It's Not Always Rainbows, has a more diverse cast. As I've started writing different series, then I've made sure that there are disabled characters and that there are people of colour and there are gay characters and there are bisexual characters and all the rainbow along the way. I should have written more disabled characters, and this is something that I see as a flaw in myself. Having said that, in Blackout, Lisa was disabled. She just didn't use a wheelchair. And Cassie in Second Sight, she was disabled, she just didn't use a wheelchair. So I have written some disabled characters, I just haven't always made them main characters. And it's something I'm working to correct now. Number 8, you talked about basing characters on people you know. I thought that was frowned upon. Can you expand a little on what you mean? It is frowned upon, and I wasn't talking about basing characters on people I know, as in taking that person and just putting them in the book. That's not what I meant. I meant that a couple of my characters have shared names of people I know, and that's it. Just a name. They haven't been based on their personality traits or how they look or even who they are. It's just their name. And in doing that, it was something I did in the early days because I had a lot of people who supported me before I became published that I wanted to thank, and that was the way I did it. I don't advocate taking somebody who you know and putting them in fiction because that doesn't work and it's really not something you should do, and yeah, basically. Number 9, have you ever started a book and then lost that spark and put it to one side? If so, did you ever pick it up again? Yes, I have. Lynn and Hope I started writing when I was about 21, a bit younger than that in fact, and it was a completely different story, same characters but completely different story, and I wrote I think the first 5 chapters and then I basically decided I don't like this story, so I'm not going to write it anymore, so I put it away and I didn't think about it again until I went to clear out my cupboard and I had finished writing Second Sight and I wanted to have a different project to work on, and then I pulled it out and I thought, oh, hang on a minute, if I change this and change that and change that, and so I did, and it became the book it is now. But then I used the idea that I was using in Lynn and Hope in Destination Unknown with changes, so both ideas ended up being used into books. And I think that's something that you have to do if you're writing something and you don't enjoy it, then you need to be saying to yourself, why am I doing this? Because if you haven't got the spark, if you haven't got the love of the fiction, the work you're working on, then there's really little point in finishing it or pushing yourself to write it. If it's just a slump, that's one thing, but if it's wanting something different than what's being written, that's completely something else. And number 10, how do you have so much time to read so many books? Your Goodreads page says you read over 150 last year and over 180 the year before. Do you have a set reading time or something? Yes, I do. I usually read about 150 books a year. The year before that I managed 180 was when I was going to and from school with little one, and so therefore I had more reading time. Now my Kindle is usually with me at all times. I will take it everywhere with me. I have a lot of hospital appointments, so I have a lot of time to read. I read in bed when I'm talking to people, I'll read between messages, and I do a lot of reading. I read fast, and it means that I get a lot of reading done, and because of that, I read a lot of books. So that's all I've got time for today. If you want to leave a comment, you can just down below, or you can contact me on Facebook or Goodreads or Tumblr or Twitter. You can pick up my books on Amazon. They're available in ebook and paperback format, and you can pre-order Dying Thoughts Fifth Secret, which is out on May 15th. And don't forget to check out the Darker Side of Fiction 2017 event, where I will be signing books in October, all the links for which are listed below. And I will see you again on the 28th. Bye.